The 90s console generation suffered no shortage of anthropomorphic mascot characters that promised to be the next big trend. Whilst many games did continue past the first installment, there were some whose limelight character sadly only got to see its player's living room once. Unfortunately, that is the case for today's title, Ardy Lightfoot. Produced by ASCII Corporation and released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in both Japan and the West between 1993 and 1994. I should note that it was Titus Interactive that published the game in the West, who I hear were notorious for producing some forgettable titles. I learned about the game through a recommendation made on a forum that I used to frequent back when I was a teen. However, the name of that forum is now lost to the remnants of the memory of my youth, much like this game. Ardy Lightfoot is a platformer, however I would consider it more niche than that. To me, the game is a companion platformer. What is a companion platformer? Well, I'm glad you asked. In my mind, a companion platformer is a game that has all the traits of a platformer, however sees your protagonist completing the challenges with the assistance of, or being accompanied by, a companion. Some prime examples of companion platformers are the Donkey Kong Country series, Klonoa Daughter Phantomile, Banjo and Kazooie, and Super Mario Odyssey. Regardless of whether the companion directly assists or accompanies, they have to actually do something other than be dead weight in order for the game to fall into this classification, for me, whether that be by extending the reach of your character, or by having a completely separate skill set that complements the main protagonist. If you know of any other games that could be considered as a companion platformer, let me know in the comments. We play as Ardy, a treasure hunter who is assisted by his companion Pec. Not much is known of our protagonists other than that they seem to like searching for treasure together. We join them as they are exploring a dark cavern. When the footing suddenly gives way beneath Ardy's feet, he finds himself in a dimly lit cavern containing a stone tablet. Taking this back to the grandpa of a nearby village, it's revealed that the tablet contains a riddle hinting at the location of 7 gems that when united will grant the gatherer a wish. Before Ardy and his friends have a chance to decipher what the clues mean, the nearby mining village is attacked, and Ardy takes it upon himself to rescue the besieged citizens. In total, there are 17 stages that Ardy and Pec must travel through together, dispatching the enemies and avoiding traps in order to gather the 7 gems. Whilst there is a world map that shows you how each location is situated comparative to each other, as the player you have no control over your destination, which I felt was slightly disappointing. I would have preferred a system like what Super Mario World utilised, which not only gives agency to the player, but also allowed the developer to insert secret levels, giving the game more replayability. Sadly, a brief world map segment without control of Ardy doesn't really do much for the game, despite the good aesthetic. In order to navigate the areas themselves, Ardy has a number of abilities available to him. First of all, he can throw Pec into enemies to dispatch them. I would urge caution with this, as you must wait until Pec returns to Ardy before you can throw him again. If you are too gung-ho and throw Pec too soon, you'll soon find the enemy's lips connecting with Ardy's face in a most unpleasant way. If Ardy takes any damage, Pec will immediately disintegrate, leaving Ardy to fend for himself. If this happens, you must rely on Ardy's tail to dispatch the enemies. If you press the jump button and hold it down while Ardy is in the air, his tail will become like a pogo stick, similar to Scrooge McDuck's cane in DuckTales. Unlike the cane, however, Ardy's tail cannot protect him from hazards, so do not jump on anything other than an enemy in this fashion, if you want to preserve Ardy's life. Additionally, Ardy gains momentum as he moves, changing from a casual stroll to a dash, similar to Sonic, allowing you to believe you can rush through the stages. This is misleading. If you allow Ardy to stay in a dash, it becomes really easy to run directly into the next hazard, costing you a life. I wish the developers considered the level layouts if they wanted to make dashing a viable option. As Ardy's life is governed by 2 hits, himself and Pec, he shouldn't be able to move so fast. Finally, if you stand still and hold up, Ardy will take out a cloak of invisibility which he can hide behind to avoid all damage. You cannot move whilst he has it out, and he will only hold it out for a short period of time, so I never found it all that useful in any level other than one of the final levels, by which point the player would have forgotten they even have that ability available to them. If Pec dies, you can recover him from one of the many treasure chests strewn around the levels. Some treasure chests may also impart situational special skills to Pec, such as the ability to inflate himself like a balloon, allowing Ardy to ride him, or granting him the ability to smash rocks. These skills are rarely needed, and I didn't feel that they added that much to the overall experience. As per most platformers that have collectibles, you will also be collecting stars in this game. 100 stars will give you an extra life, though you can find other extra lives hidden around the levels. Additionally, there will sometimes be monkey statues that act as checkpoints if you jump on their head. If you die, granted that you don't get a game over being that it's your last life, you will be returned to the checkpoint. If you do use up all your lives, you'll be locked in a jail cell, though you can break out of this, and heading left will go to the password screen, and heading right will take you back to the beginning of the level that you just failed. Some stages will conclude with a boss fight, which generally is as easy as dispatching Boom Boom from Super Mario Bros. 3. Each boss fight requires you to basically jump on the boss's head with your tail attack. Be careful though, as if you use your feet instead, Ardy will be the one that takes damage. One of the bosses that I found interesting, and a bit of a departure from this, was the battle with Katri, which saw you having to step on switches to make a punching glove shoot out from the side, corresponding to the colour of the switch that you pressed. The concept for this was interesting, but its execution was a little lackluster and kind of easy. When a boss takes enough damage, they will change colour, indicating that they are almost defeated. Something that really caught my attention was the game's rating, which is clearly displayed on the box. The game is rated K to A for 6+. However, on page 10 of the manual there is an item labelled as a drug, that when consumed will transform Ardy. Guess they're starting them real young these days. I mean, if you really want to go down that path, Billy Max said it best.
Hi, kids. Here's an important message from your Uncle Bill. Don't buy drugs. Become a pop star and they give you them for free.
And I do believe it's a commercial break.
I love the general aesthetic of the game. The colours really pop, and the way that the world map is laid out gives a nice perspective on the adventure. The pixel art is very detailed for a SNES game, and I really appreciated this. One example of the great use of art assets is in the lumberjack forest, where the foreground is a moving canopy of leaves that adds a nice layer of depth to the level, giving you the impression that you are exploring beneath the leaf-dappled sunlight. One thing that I'm not too sure on in regard to the graphics was that why does Pec look like Kirby ate a penguin? The music is mixed and varied, containing bright peppy tracks contrasted with some dark tracks. Overall, I felt that they fit the areas of the game and were enjoyable to listen to. In regard to the sounds, I always thought that the whoop made when you die was kind of funny. As for my favourite music track, I liked Island of Ruins. It has such a chill vibe to it, with a backing chorus that adds a layer of mystery. It really gave me a sense of exploring a mysterious ruin in search of treasure, or like I was sitting inside whilst it was raining outside, just chilling with a cup of coffee. Ardy Lightfoot is a short game, clocking in at around 2 hours to complete all 17 levels. Whilst the character of Ardy is interesting and I could appreciate that he also had a companion, I felt overall that the experience was a bit meh. Ardy has too many skills that seem borrowed from other protagonists of other games who did these individual skills more justice. The difficulty spike of the game is way too high to expect anyone to easily beat the title when they get near the end. If you are looking for a short game that has a cute aesthetic and some characters that are a little forgettable, then maybe you'll enjoy it. Whilst it's not as bad as that one Superman game that Titus had a hand in, it may be worth a look at, if you're a masochist. By the way, I mentioned companion platformers earlier in this review. Are there any games that you would consider to be a companion platformer? Let me know in the comments, and who knows, maybe I'll check it out. This has been Venwa with a review of Ardy Lightfoot for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, as it would help me out immensely. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Take care of yourselves, and see you again next time. Bye bye for now.